Hello, Miss and everyone. This is the presentations of our group about Chapter 7 Customer Value Driven and Marketing Strategies. Our group included Koi, Tai, Hung, Tam, Ngọc, and Wung. And before we start, I'm gonna talk about the contents that we have gonna have in these presentations. First is the marketing strategies. Second is the market segmentations. The third was market targeting, and the last one is differentiations and positioning. First, we're gonna dive into marketing strategies. First, here we have the market segmentations. Divisions of market into distinct buyers group with different needs, characteristics, or behaviors, identifying of various market segments and development of profiles for each. Market targeting. Evaluations of the attractiveness of each market segment, selections of one of or more market segment to enter, propositions, formulations of strategies on how the company will create values for the chosen target customers. Here we have differentiations act of making the firm's market offering unique to deliver superior customer values, and also positioning arrangement for a market offering to occupy a clear, distinctive, and desirable place in the minds of target customers relative to a competing product.
Let's move into the learning objective 7.2. In this part, we're going to break through the market segmentations in details. So the very first market segmentations is the geographic segmentations. This based on the nation, region, states, countries, cities, neighborhoods, population densities, and climates. Take the áo dài of Vietnam, for example. It's a traditional costume in Vietnam and is very suitable to wear in Vietnam. Secondly, we have the demographic segmentation. This is the most popular type of segmentations, and it is based on age, life cycle stage, gender, income, occupation, education, religion, and ethnicity, and generation. So we take the elderly diaper for an example. This type of diaper is exclusively used just only for the old and elderly. So thirdly, we have the gender segmentations. This type of segmentation has been used in marketing clothing, cosmetic, toiletries, toys, and magazine, which is separate into two stereotypes, which are men and women, respectively. We take the Gucci perfume, for example. For example, the Gucci plume is for women, and the Gucci perfume is for men. Moving forward, we have the income segmentations. This type of segmentation divide market into different income segments. They use in automobiles, clothing, services. We take an example of two famous brand car, namely Rolls-Royce is for billionaires and Toyotas is mainly for average worker.
Next is psychographic segmentation, which categorizes buyers based on lifestyle and personality. For example, old people tend to live in the countryside for the peacefulness, whereas the younger, they would rather to live in cities for career opportunities and convenience. Then behavioral segmentation, which is categorizes buyers based on their knowledge, attitudes, uses, or responses to products. For example, Korea, a country with smart consumers, they do a lot of research before buying a product. So it would be great for a company to test the products on this country to gain advice and feedbacks for the products. Next is occasion segmentation, which categorizes buyers based on the time that they buy the products. Finally, benefit segmentation divides the buyers based on the benefit that they buy the products for. For instance, an iPad. Some people will buy it for entertainment, while the other will buy it for education. So the company will have to specialize the products that will satisfy each need, or maybe merge them to become a product that satisfy both needs.
Market segmentation can give the company access to many opportunities, so it is important for marketers to identify their target market. When evaluating market segments, we must look at its size, growth, structural attractiveness, and the company's objectives and goal. Choosing a segment that has the right size and growth characteristic may be more beneficial and more profitable, since not all large segments are attractive. They also need to pay attention to major structural factors that can affect long-run segment attractiveness. For example, a segment can be less attractive if it has strong and aggressive competitors. Maybe it's easy for new entrants. and powerful suppliers that can cause some difficulties for the company to compete. After that, the firm needs to select the preferred target market segments. There are different approaches that the company can choose, either to mass marketing, which ignore the differences and focus on the common needs instead. But the problem is that they cannot satisfy all and may not be able to compete with more product focused firms. Or they can choose to segmented marketing, which can target specific needs but would also increase cost. Another marketing strategy would be concentrated marketing. Instead of a small share of a large segment, they choose a large share of a smaller segments to have a stronger market position and be more effective. The last one is micro marketing, which consists of local marketing. We all have phones so that tracking consumers can be much more easier, but this can create logistic problems and drive up manufacturing and marketing costs, or individual marketing similar to local but more extreme. When choosing a targeting strategy, we should also consider competitor strategies. It is not a question of who, but rather how and what.
Basically, a company has to answer two questions: which customer will we serve and how will we serve them? So, differentiation and positioning is the answer for our second question. So, first of all, what is product positioning? It's how consumers define a product based on important attributes. So, in simple terms, it's the complex set of impressions, perceptions, and feelings consumers have for the product compared to competitors. So, in fact, many successful brands they create their own planned positions that give them an advantage in their target markets. Here are some positioning examples. The upper one on the left side are products from Method Detergent. They claim that they have smarter, easier, and greener products. Moving to Tide, they describe their product as a washing miracle, heavy-duty family detergent. Visa, probably they do know that we all want to pay without cash everywhere. So their statement is everywhere you want to be. And lastly, IKEA. They claim themselves as a life improvement store. So the idea is that when you run into a problem at home, there's a pretty good chance that IKEA will have a solution for you. In planning their differentiation and positioning strategy, marketers often prepare a conceptual positioning maps to visualize competitor perceptions on important buying dimensions. Here below are two examples of a positioning map. On the left hand is the Vietnamese milk market, and on the right hand is the US cosmetics. In order to answer the question how, we had to grab these three key steps to build strong brand position. First thing to do is identify possible value differences and competitive advantages. Then we had to choose the right competitive advantages, and last but not least, select an overall positioning strategy. In the first stage, providing superior customer values is the key that gives us a competitive advantage over others. And then when choosing the right competitive advantages for brand positioning, a company should ensure that their products are important, distinctive, superior, communicable, preemptive, affordable, and perhaps most importantly, profitable. So the more these elements are met, the better.
Let's talk about value proposition, the full mix of benefits that differentiates and position a brand. To answer the most important question, why should I buy your brand? Here, we are going to discuss the five winning value propositions. I want to start with more for more positioning, which to me is the most fascinating of all. Here, I have the four powerful badge, which indicates that whoever owns their products is at the top of everything they do. Their products, aside from being the best of the best, also symbolize status, and they are expensive. I want to give a special shout out to the Rolls-Royce Phantom marketing strategy. They use words unmatched, unrivaled, one of one, or Phantom move the people who move the world to amplify such a niche value proposition for this car. For Rolls-Royce and for their clients, the Phantom simply unique has no rival. I especially love Rolls-Royce CEO's statement on their brand. We don't sell cars, we sell an experience, a lifestyle, and a dream. Simply put, more for more positioning is to market something beyond the actual product. More for the same positioning means that market the products are delivering more for the same money as competitors. The Mazda CX-5 I have here is the perfect example of that. The pricing strategy of Taco puts this car in the category of one lower vehicle class. All other competitors at its price point are smaller, packed with less technology and simply put, less car for the money. The Mazda CX-5 has dominated the segment ever since this was introduced. The same for less positioning is often seen as a bargain. Here, I want to introduce two typical representatives. A quick background: Lexus is a luxury brand by Toyota, and Genesis is a counterpart from Hyundai. Both of these brands want to compete with the giants like Mercedes, BMW, and Audi. Their products have always been on par with the Germans in terms of quality, but with a lower price to market themselves as a luxury bargain. Less for much less positioning aims to reach a group of customers who are willing to give up on excessive perks in favor for the best price possible. In this case, the Tata Nano is simply just a car. It has four wheels and an engine to run those four wheels. Very ugly, Asian technology, even without air conditioning. But it runs, takes people from point A to point B. This is the cheapest car on the planet. More for less positioning is quite a unique one. On one side, it is surely a winning value proposition, but the other side is that it isn't sustainable. VinFast is positioning itself in this category. They offer vehicles that cost less than their segments, with many perks like 10-year warranty compared to the 3 to 5 years norm in the industry. These strategies often only last for a while because their products are new, and the company will eventually have to decide to focus on one thing due to the limited resource, especially capital. In the business landscape, crafting a positioning strategy may sound simple, but the real challenge is in execution. Building or shifting position takes time. Once established, maintaining it becomes imperative. Consistency is not just preferred, it's the bedrock across performance, communication, and adaptability. Imagine this: successful positioning isn't about sudden shift, but a gradual evolution, a dance with the ever changing rhythm of the marketing landscapes. It's like conducted symphony, refining and adapting without losing the sense, the fundamental melody of your brand.
Finally, we move into the conclusion part. Through the Objective 7.1, it reflects a customer value driven marketing strategy begins with selecting which customer to serve and determining a value proposition that serves the targeted customer. And it consists of four steps, which are segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and positioning. And a customer value driven marketing strategy seeks and aims to build the right relationship with the right customers. In the Objective 7.2, it reflected that marketers have different variables to see which give the best segmentation opportunities. For consumer marketing, the major segmentation variables are geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral. So, the effectiveness of these segmentation analysis depends on finding segments that are measurable, accessible, substantial, differentiable, and actionable, also suitable with the marketing strategies that is aimed to their customer. The Objective 7.3 illustrated that in order to target the best market segments, the company have to evaluate each segment size and growth characteristic, structural attractiveness, and compatibility with company objective and resources. Then it have to choose one of the four marketing targeting strategies. And this involves mass producing, mass distributing, and mass promoting the same product in about the same way. Or seller can adopt the undifferentiated marketing, differentiated marketing, concentrated marketing, micro marketing from targeting properly to targeting narrow. Finally, the Objective 7.4 stated that once a business has decided which segment to enter, it must decide on its differentiation and positioning strategy. And the differentiation and positioning test consists of three steps in order to be finalized. The value propositions is called as a brand full positioning. This is the full mix of benefits on which the brand is positioned. In general, companies can choose from one of five winning value proposition on which to position their products. More for the same for less, less for much less, or more for less. Finally, the company must then communicate and deliver effectively the chosen position to the market in order to gain their goals, also called as customers.